Welcome to The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. This is step number 26 along the path. Today we'll talk about life lessons from the universe. This week, more on boundaries. And for men, a better way to incorporate personal development into your life. Now, let's get started on the path for today. And welcome. This is The Practical Path, and as we said, step number 26 along the way. I'm Bill Sklodowski. That's Vicki Wagoner, live from Blue Ridge, Georgia, where there was power outage this morning. You okay now?
Yeah, we're okay now. Yeah, just
okay.
Got up and we had breakfast, and next thing I know, the power's gone, and it's like, what the heck?
I'm sure some tourist probably saw a raccoon along the road and went, "Oh my God, look!" and then hit a power pole or something like that.
Probably.
Yeah. Stuff you don't see in the big cities, like raccoons and maybe even a fox or something, or whatever.
Fox and coyotes.
You got all that good stuff.
Oh, we got all that stuff.
We do too. I mean, here in Central Florida, we're kind of here in Gainesville. We have all those critters, but you don't. I mean, I'm in town, so I don't really see them. Yeah. But I could drive 10 minutes, and there's a humongous, I don't know if it's a state park or a federal preserve or something, called Payne's Prairie.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's literally the two exits south of me, like 2 miles.
Yeah.
And I always thought, oh, prairie, I like wide open spaces with buffalo roaming and all that. No, it's a swamp. It is literally... But it's beautiful. I mean, it's they don't call this the swamp for nothing. I mean, we're home of the Gators and,
That's
Florida
true.
Gators and all that, but that's where they live. And there's a beautiful little park right on the edge, on the northern edge of it, which is the southern edge of the city of Gainesville. So you can walk out into this prairie area, and there's observation decks and towers and stuff where you can, and it's super cool. I mean, and of course the ranger keeps a list of all the critters we've seen in the past week, and anyway, got off on a tangent there, but anyway, yes, we have wildlife here in Florida. You probably knew that. You have wildlife.
I did, since I lived there
as well as you
quite a while.
Georgia. There you go. Yeah. So anyway, what an odd way to start the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Just a little chilly today, but it's
I hear you.
good.
It's been beautiful here, and
Nice.
should be good tonight. Tonight's a pickleball night for yours truly, and
Good.
I know. This is another story that has nothing to do with personal growth. Well, it's personal growth for me, doggone it.
Yeah.
I was playing pickleball a week or so ago, couple weeks, and I'm like hitting the same paddle I've had forever. And I'm like, this feels a little flat, a little like I'm hitting cardboard or something. And I'm like, I wonder how long pickleball paddles are supposed to last. And so I looked it up online, of course. And Mr. Google says, well, if you use it a lot, maybe 8 months to a year. And if you don't use it a whole heck of a lot, 2 or 3 years. And I'm like, well, I don't use it a lot, but it's been 7 years for this one pickleball paddle.
Gosh, wow.
So it's getting recycled. So my new paddle arrived in the mail the other day. I've played with it once already. I'm in love. It's a wonderful thing. So anyway, that's life goes on. So.
That is wild. I didn't know that, the length of it and how much play.
Who knows? I guess I don't know why it would wear out. It's kind of a solid fiberglass, plastic, carbon fiber. I don't know what it's made out of, but I'm not a pickleball expert. I just play the game. So anyway, I don't know what any of this has to do with personal and spiritual growth. I have no idea, but we'll make it work anyway. Anything, what we usually do is we start off with anything that, any new interesting messages or lessons for you from the universe this past week? Anything going on out there that struck your fancy?
No, not really. It's been kind of quiet. I can't think of anything. How about you?
We were talking before the recording started, and I was telling you about some things going on in my life with boundaries that I have set with people and how that has led to, shall we say, less contact with some people, and how nice and peaceful that has felt.
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we all deserve. It's just that peacefulness and that easy, without all the ups and downs that,
Right.
fortunately, some relationships have.
Right. And I was in one that had that, and now I'm not. And
Mhm.
I'm learning to, not learning to, I'm experiencing the peace and quiet that I've been looking for. And
Yes.
now that it's here, I'm being thankful and in gratitude for that. So there you go. So if you're
Yes.
going through in the immortal word, what was that country music song? If you're going through hell, keep on driving or something like that. I don't
Remember,
just keep
but
going.
I'm
Just
sure that,
keep moving forward is the lesson to all of this. Keep moving forward and doing the things that benefit you. And I'm not saying be a jerk about it. I'm not saying,
oh,
yeah, but do what works for you and the
yes.
world will be a lot nicer. And so mine has been. So that's been, I don't know that it's a lesson this week, but it is a confirmation for me of the things that I've been doing.
Yeah.
And you and I have been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. I guess it started with, the beginning of the year, and then it kind of ramped up my birthday, end of January. And as we record this, it's the first week of February. So anyway, it's just the I'm not going to say that it's been big changes, but it's been a lot of subtle stuff that I've kind of sat back and gone, oh yeah, that's what I want to do. That's where I want to go. That's what I want to be. And I think
Yep.
that's been the lesson for me is just being open to that. How's that sound?
Yes. It sounds wonderful. And that's what we all deserve. We all deserve to, have peace and quiet and, things that just kind of flow. And of course, there's always something, that's going to boggle that. Yet, you know, focusing on what makes you happy, what makes you feel good. And if something doesn't work, it's okay to let it go. If it's, a thought or a relationship or, something that you held on to for a long time and you're going, why am I still holding on to this? It's okay to release it. And that
Right.
leaves you for new opportunities.
Right. And what you said there came with the message that I think a lot of people might sometimes overlook when you said it's okay to release that. It's okay to let it go and move on. And I'm a prime example of that I struggled, was challenged by whatever the word you want to use. I was challenged by that letting go of past things, even though
Mhm.
I knew that it wasn't serving me. It wasn't in my
Mhm.
best in whatever you want to call it again. And I still had that difficulty of saying, no, this is the boundary and this is what I'll do and not this is what I won't do. And
Yes.
then being okay to enforce that with myself.
Right, exactly. And that's it. It's having those strong boundaries of if it works for you, it's great. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You can let that go. We
Mm-hmm.
have to take care of ourselves. And, I'm infamous for saying we have to be our own best friend. We
Worth
really,
repeating.
really do, because that is so important. Because if you're in a good space and you feel strong and you feel peaceful and things are flowing, then you're going to affect other people, give them the same opportunity to do that. But if you're struggling against, the tide, I mean, you just keep fighting and fighting and you just keep
Right.
losing and losing. And that's not being fair to yourself. That's not
Right.
loving yourself, respecting yourself.
Right. Right. It
And I
is. And go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we're taught to, be nice to everybody. Well, being nice to ourselves first is going to be nice for everybody else. And sometimes we just got to say, enough's enough. Thank you very much. I've learned the lesson. I'm moving forward.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
And that's the important thing. I mean,
Yes.
and again, I recognize because I've been through it. This is literally we are 5 or 6 weeks into the brand new year, and I've been living it. I have been for since Christmas time,
Yeah.
so definitely. And I'm not. It's not easy, but at the same time, don't say but, say yet.
There
Yet,
you go.
I got a whole paragraph on that. I'll do that in a second. And yet, when you do make the decision, like you said, to be your own best friend, apparently that's the catchphrase for this show, and I love that. That things tend to start working out better for you, if only because you are taking better care of yourself. And,
Mhm.
we've used this analogy 100 times, but it's, like they tell you in the airplane, put your own oxygen mask on first and then worry about the people around you, because you're no good to somebody else if you're the one that's in trouble, or
Right,
whatever. Yeah.
exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, yeah, I get that. I do. And for me, and I'm sure for a lot of our friends and listeners, part of the challenge there is not wanting to be the bad guy or not
Yeah.
wanting to be the jerk about things.
Right.
Right. And
And
that's been huge for me.
well, and if somebody perceives you to be that way, well, that's their issue. Because I know
Mm,
you, and I'll just use you for an example. I know who you are. You've got a huge heart. You're a great person. You're the first one that's going to help out. So this person that I also know is not seeing the truth of everything and blaming you or putting all this on you. It's because she doesn't
right.
want to help herself.
Right.
And a lot of relationships are like that, friendship or, romantic or whatever, business. It's, you got to be able to look at the bigger picture of things and be okay to be open to, okay, what part is what have I done to push this person away? What is this person doing? And just look at the truth of it. So the best thing you
Hmm.
can do is just go, you know what, it didn't work. How can I, change it for the next relationship or whatever's going on? Because we have to do our own inventory and we can't just point fingers at somebody else and go, well, it's your fault, your fault. No, I mean, relationship of any kind is two people.
Right.
So,
Right.
and you got to be open to, okay, what was my part? What did I do? What could I have done better? Looking at it and going, okay, well, I can see why. Because a lot of relationships, in any kind of relationship, sometimes it's not so good. People are pointing the finger at the wrong person, and then they
Right.
carry that around, and it's like carrying a lot of baggage with you instead of
Right.
sitting going, okay, what was my part? What was the other person's part? Oh, I can see this. Okay, well, lesson learned. Let's move forward.
Hey, it's Bill stepping out of the studio for a quick second. On the podcast, one of the things we talk about a lot is motivation, the desire to get things done in life. It might be physical stuff, losing a few pounds, getting a better job, finding a great relationship. Or it might be more of what I like to call internal things, finding ways to feel better about yourself or life in general. Well, to help our listeners along that particular path, we've prepared a helpful, simple guide for personal motivation. It's called Flipping the Switch: How to Create Motivation at a Moment's Notice. I'd like to send you a free copy, along with some other special bonus goodies. Bonus, you say? Well, yes, kind of an unadvertised in-store special. What is it? Well, you'll just have to find out for yourself. So, do this. Head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com. Yep, the same name as the podcast itself. Put in your email and we'll immediately send you to the free download. We'll also let you know about upcoming podcast episodes and other behind-the-scenes information. Again, just head over to the website, www.thepracticalpathpodcast.com, and get your free guide to boosting your personal motivation. I'm sure you'll find it helpful and, dare I say, practical. Now, back to the show. Right.
A lot of people have problems with that, looking at the truth of it.
Well, I think I don't want to point fingers or blame or anything like that, but yes,
It's not blaming you, it's just an observation.
right. A lot of a lot of life these days. I'm gonna make a crazy big statement, but a lot of life these days is about finding somebody else to blame for the SHI you know what that's going on in your own life.
Right.
So
Yeah.
oh, it's my boss, oh, it's my kids, oh, it's what I don't. Again, I'm not involved with any of that. I can't speak
Right.
for anybody else other than me, but I absolutely get it. Is that that's the easy out? That's, I mean, in the short term, it's like that's the easy thing to say is it's somebody else's problem, not mine. But you're going to find out that, 10 years down the road, you're still blaming somebody else. And, as they always say, who's, what's the common denominator? What's the common factor in all this? Well, I am.
Yeah.
So, so maybe I should, hold the mirror up a little better and figure out what's going on in my life or figure out what's going on with me. And
Mhm.
again, your specialty, as I've known you and I've known how you've worked with clients and customers, whatever, that I think is your superpower in that you can help them hold up the mirror and do it in a non-judgmental way
Yes.
to say, okay, I'm doing some stuff. And again, one of my favorite lines of all time that we use on this show all the time is maybe you'd like to make a different decision.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
maybe you'd like to think about this in a different way or see things in a different light. Whatever, pick your term,
Yeah.
however.
Yeah.
But it's all about, all right, I've, been through 3 relationships now. They've all been jerks. How does that happen? Whatever. I being the single man that I am, being the single guy that I am, occasionally I will watch some of these dating coaches on YouTube,
Oh.
which of course they're all for, young people, so it's not super relatable. But a couple of interesting things have shown up, and like some male dating coach will say, if you go out with a lady and she spends the first hour complaining about her 2 exes and how terrible they were. Well, guess what? You're going to be number 3.
Yeah.
So
I just went, ooh, yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. So wait a minute, are you saying something here? Should we get your husband involved in this?
Oh my
You're
gosh.
you're fine. Your husband.
Oh,
I mean, let's come right out and say it. Let's just say it right here, right now, and make this clear. Your husband, Mr. Rick, is a saint.
he is.
He is a saint, and
Definitely is.
he's like when a really like when a superstar baseball player retires. It's like the term is first ballot Hall of Fame. It's like there's not even any question. He's going into the Hall of Fame. There's no argument,
Oh yeah.
So your husband is a first ballot Hall of Fame guy. You tell him we said that. I'm sure that'll
I'm
win
gonna
us some
tell him
points
that.
here somewhere.
No, I totally agree because part of it is being a Pisces, having the 2 different personalities always going. Also being very sensitive to other energies out there that, I can feel. Plus I can be very sweet or I can be, total bitch.
No, no,
And I'm just being honest here, I'm just, I have my moments.
of
Yet
course.
he always has the ability to see the bigger picture of who I truly am.
Well, there you go. That I think
It's a
is
saint.
the definition of a great relationship. And it doesn't have to be husband and wife. It can be friends, it can
Oh
be
yeah.
brother, sister, it can be anything. The
Yeah.
ability to see through, like you said, the BS, the whatever, and be able to
Right.
see the person for who they really are.
Yes.
It's an
Yes.
interesting, that's an interesting point that
Mhm.
how do we now, okay,
Mhm.
good, great.
Okay.
How do we apply that to ourselves?
Well, looking in the mirror, so to speak, and going, okay, what are my good parts? Who am I? What do I do? Why do people, feel safe with me? Because I've heard things that'd be like, oh my God, let me plug my ears. Um, and then, looking at the other side of why do I get triggered? What is going on? So, and I know what goes on. It goes back to childhood. I had a very horrific childhood, so I've worked really diligently to shift that around. Yet, being honest, sometimes it still comes up, and Rick understands that. He knows that, and so he is a very patient guy anyway, and not much ruffles his feathers to begin with. So he's the perfect guy, to be married to.
Right.
Um, but he's also, just got a huge heart, and he just loves me. I mean, the first moment, we met, I was 16 and he was 18 at my sister's wedding, and he was like, "Oh my God, I got to meet this girl," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm just." take this guy for a ride and, move on. I'm 16. What do I know? And
All
we
right.
just
So, but
came back years later. He fell in love with me the first moment he saw me, and he just
there
has
you go.
accepted me for who I am. I'm very, very fortunate.
So I was, yes, and
And
best part of acting ever. Yes, and I was thinking in terms of how we apply that to ourselves. So
look,
all of the things you
yeah.
said that he saw in you,
Mhm.
now we want to encourage our friends and listeners to develop that same relationship with yourself, to be
Absolutely.
able to be honest
Yes.
with yourself.
Yep.
And that might be hard because hard. That might be a tough
Challenge.
road because you've been told so much
Mhm.
as a child, as a friend, as a parent, as a spouse, as a whatever. You've been
Right.
lots and lots of people in life have tried to categorize you or have tried to put you in a specific box or in a certain whatever
Yeah.
and say this is who Bill is. Bill is this and this. Well,
Mhm.
maybe, but there's a lot more to it or whatever. So I
Right.
think
Yeah.
again, when you're working with yourself, if that's a thing,
Yes. Absolutely.
that to recognize all of yourself, all
Right.
of the different pieces.
Right. Absolutely. And the best you can, focusing on the best parts of yourself, because what you focus on, you manifest.
Hmm.
So over the years, I've gotten better at it, and yet I'll be the first one to say, you're seeing me on a good day.
Mm.
Um, and just, you know, every day, going, okay, today's going to be my best day. And if I fall down, then I just pick myself up and go, okay, what can you do to change it around? Let's keep moving forward. So I've
Right.
gotten better with age.
That's all right. It's all
When
right. We
looking
all
at that,
got time. Yeah,
yeah,
we
but
all got
but
time.
but
But
having
still,
someone, oh, go ahead.
it's being open, open. Yeah, it's being open and aware. Like you said, you
Mhm.
have good days and bad days, but
Yeah,
at the base of it, you're still the person that you are. And if you take a
mhm.
good, honest look at it,
Yeah.
there's probably a ton of good stuff in there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We all have it. A
Hmm.
lot of times, as we're growing up, we look at these big people and we think, well, they must know everything because they're so big. Well, realizing they've got little kids within them, and their
Right.
little kid will react because, somebody, bigger than them was, telling them stuff. So we have to be kind with ourselves and gentle with ourselves. And over the years, I've gotten a lot better at being, my own best friend. Because for a long time, I just assumed, well, this is who I am and I can't change. And, this is what I got until I did start doing my own inner work, until I did get help, from other people,
Hmm.
especially when I started to get into spirituality. That really changed my life, changed my perspective on what I believed, and, the brainwashing that, I got when I was a kid. I had to step back and look at it and embrace it.
Hmm.
Say, okay, this is what somebody projected onto me. What is the real truth?
Right.
Who am I? And looking within my own self and saying, oh, I'm basically a pretty good person.
That's a good place to start. I mean, there's nothing wrong with starting with I'm basically a pretty good person. I think that's great. I think
Building on that.
yeah, I don't want to yeah. My voice kind of went up an octave there. But yes, that's awesome to that we can recognize. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to start somewhere. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we talk about, this whole podcast is, steps along the path,
Yes.
the path of personal and spiritual growth. And if you're starting at ground zero, if you're starting at the very, very beginning, trust me, there's no shame or blame or guilt trip or anything. You're starting. You're doing more than the vast majority of people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
that on my Twitter feed occasionally I will see, these guys that are like workout gym rat king, built like a Mack truck kind of a thing, and
Right.
some of the guys are good enough to say, if I see a big guy, I mean, I'm not going to say the FAT word, but if I see a big guy or even woman come to the gym and working out and I see them there a couple of times, I'm going to go over and say, good job. Keep up the good work. Because at least they're doing something. They're
Yeah.
getting started. They're on the path. They're not there yet, but none of us are, especially with the gym thing. But that's a whole, that's just one aspect of it. But the same goes with the personal stuff that you
Oh, yeah.
looking inside and going, all right, well, let's start somewhere.
Yeah. That's
I'm
the,
good to
that's
my dog. Let's start with that.
But that's it. It's that first step, and then just keep going and going. And if you fall down, it's okay. We all have our fall down moments. Go, okay, I'm just having a moment. Let me feel it, get through it. Okay, then pick yourself back up and start back on that path again. So being kind
Yeah.
with yourself, even in your darkest moments, you've got to be kind with yourself and encourage yourself and go, okay, have your hizzy fit, have your pity party, you know, get it all done. Now what are you going to do? How are you going to keep
Right.
moving forward? And we all
One
have that.
of, oh yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
One of my favorite podcasters and YouTubers and all that always talks. He does a personal development kind of stuff as well. He does a lot of things, but when he talks personal development, he always talks about how he needs to be careful to recognize his emotions, but not let them control him.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that it's like, oh, this is really, and I hate this word, but I'm going to use it anyway. This is really triggering me. I'm really pissed about something. And then have that ability to kind of step back and go, okay, I'm pissed about this. Okay, cool. Is
Mhm.
it, does it require anything from me? Is there anything that I can do to change it? Is there, whatever, whatever. So on one hand, yes, we are humans, we are emotional critters. But
Oh,
on
yeah.
the other hand, hopefully there is also some logic and some self-reflection in there, if that's the right
Yeah.
word, to be able to
But
say, yeah, okay, I was, and you're good at that. I've seen that. Well, maybe that's your Pisces side. I've seen you. I've been on the receiving end of being yelled at, and then 5 minutes later, it's like, okay, I'm fine. I see that. So, all right. So now if I'm yelling at myself, if I'm pissed at myself, if I'm pissed at something in my world,
right.
does it require me to be pissed for the week? Probably not. Probably
No.
5 or 20 minutes is probably a good, right in there is probably a good range. And
Yep.
after that, it's like you got to stop and think, all right, I had my moment. Now I
Yep.
can reflect on it a little bit.
Yeah. Reflect on it and then move yourself forward again.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because that's really important because some people can get stuck in that, the hurt and the pain and the darkness of it and just carry it around like a, cape around them. So it's okay to have these moments. It's okay to, sometimes we're not going to be the greatest person, yet always looking at it of, okay, what did I learn from it? How can I grow from it? How can I now move this forward?
Right.
Just get up, go, okay, had my moment. Let's see what can we do now.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
And that,
that's
I
really
think,
important.
the hard part, the hardest, I think, is the recognition of it. It's like, okay, like you said, I had my moment. Now
Right,
let's, what's next? What's the
right,
next move I can make, or the next thing I can think, or the next thing I can
mhm,
feel,
right,
whatever.
right. And
Maybe I
also,
was, go ahead.
oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, maybe I was super pissed at something. Now I'm going
Yeah,
to take the dog for a walk and he's going to love me because when we go for a walk, he loves me and unconditional and he don't care that I was pissed at somebody else.
right. They do. So we need to be
No,
dogs.
not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
No,
So
but
yeah,
it's really important to look at it and go, why was I triggered? Why did that cause this rage in me or this hurt? Was it that important? What can I do to change it,
mm-hmm,
to into a gift?
mm-hmm,
Everything has a gift, even in the darkness, there's gifts. So looking at it from that perspective of how can I now learn this from this experience so I can empower myself and maybe help other people if they get in a stuck place, I can help them to get out of it.
right. I think for me, a big part of the realization, and so everybody has their default mode, what they operate from. Some people are just generally happy, some people are just generally grumpy. All right, I get it. I've worked hard to cultivate the idea that, and I think it's kind of a Buddhist thing. I'm not sure. I haven't done a lot of reading, but I might have to. That I've done a lot to cultivate this idea that, really almost nothing in life is all that important. It's just
Ah,
not. It's not. It's just stuff comes and goes, stuff
yep,
happens.
yep,
Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not so much fun. But tomorrow is going to be another day, and the thing that was either terrible or, I mean, I understand. Yes, we all have tragedy in our lives. I get it.
yes. Hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, is this moment of tragedy that happened today, or is the moment of tragedy that happened 5 years ago still running your life now?
Oh, yeah. For a lot of people, things that have happened in the past are still governing their lives.
God
Yeah.
bless her. God bless her. She's on the other side now, enjoying a way better life. That was my mother.
Oh,
Well, my
hmm.
mother lost her husband and
Yeah,
then her other son, my brother, in
right.
relatively short order,
Mm.
and never got over it, never allowed herself to get past that. It was always constantly in her head that she had either done something wrong, could have done something better, could have done something different,
Oh,
whatever, whatever. So,
right.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I've told that story before. I think I have, but it's worth repeating that
Mm.
for some people, and that it looked and sounded and felt miserable, and because it was
Oh, yeah. It's like being in prison.
exactly,
Oh,
and you
definitely.
just have to make a decision that you can move on from that. And again, I understand, I get it that when we lose people we love for whatever reason, it's going to leave a hole in your heart somewhere that
Oh,
will
definitely. Yeah.
never be filled. Again, not in that way,
Hmm.
but I understand that also that you can. Well, you're the expert on this. I'm just rambling here. That you can make a difference on that. You can make a difference in your life, in your own life.
Yeah, you have to make a choice. It's sad because a lot of people lose themselves to other people.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a divorce or if it's a death, you know, whatever it is, you can't stay in that because what you're doing is you're denying yourself the opportunity to live life.
Right.
And it's more of just accepting that's what, that was the plan for them in this lifetime. And, you can only do so much and they're still going to go the way that their soul has chosen to go. And
Right.
I know that pain, we lost a baby, Kelsey, didn't make it to, full term. My second son is sadly mentally ill, and I haven't heard from him in about 3, 4 years. I have no idea where he is. Yet I can't lose myself to him to make him better. I can't lose myself to Kelsey to bring her back. I just,
Right.
and it's still, there's a pain in there, yet I just keep moving forward. And I allow myself, if I have a moment, and it was, a couple weeks ago, I was thinking of Kelsey and I just, had a couple hours of just being in a bad space. And then I said, nothing I can do. I know she's around somewhere. I'm just going to
Right.
have to keep moving forward. You have
Right.
to keep moving forward. You can't lose yourself to somebody else.
What a great way to put it. You can't. And we've had that quote on the show before from our old friend Wayne Dyer. I can't be sick enough to make you well. I can't be miserable enough to make you happy. I can't be poor enough to make you rich. It just doesn't work that way. And it's related. I mean, it's not 100% the same story, but it's very
Very
similar in
similar.
terms of, yeah,
Mhm.
in terms of you have to do your
Yeah.
life.
Yes.
And yeah,
Absolutely.
it's okay to share it and to cooperate and all that with all the other people in your life because, well, again, we're humans, that's what we do.
Right.
But again, at the end of the day, it's how are you taking care of yourself and how are you being your own best friend, as we love to say.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's what's most important is how can we take care of us? And by doing that, we're sharing that energy with everybody else. And again, whatever they do with it, that's up to them. Yet we're still moving forward, we're still sharing. And that's what we're here to do, to inspire other people with whatever way we
Right.
can.
Yeah. It starts with you and then
Mhm.
ripples out from there.
Right.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely. And
Hmm.
again, if you're a regular listener to the show, A, thank you. B, you're not hearing anything we haven't said in the past, which is
Right.
we're just putting a different spin on it. You have to take care of yourself, and by doing so, the good vibes that you put out spread out around the world. So there
Oh,
you go.
absolutely.
If somebody would like some help with that sort of a thing, maybe, I don't know, getting past a loss or figuring out what they would like to do in their life, how would someone get in touch with you, Vicki Wagner, for help on that sort of thing?
They can call or text 239-248-0586 or email me at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner 53 @gmail.com.
There you go. There you go. And I wanted to get that in because we're going to take a quick break. And I know you would remind me that I need to also say, go over and look on YouTube. There's a new video out at billsiphonetips.com. Go ahead, not .com. Just do the hashtag billsiphonetips on YouTube and you'll find my new video out there. So there's one out there and more coming. Awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break. I'm going to refill this coffee. We've we've been doing this whole thing about focusing on yourself and your own personal growth. I know that for some guys, and I use the man term on purpose, that might be a little challenging sometimes. And I just found a cool article, and we'll talk a little bit about that, about guys. And most guys, the subtitle of this article, most guys have personal growth backward, and you might have
Oh,
been focusing on the wrong things. So we'll talk
oh.
about that. And that's called a tease. We'll talk about that when we come back in a second. Welcome back. This is The Practical Path, a podcast for personal and spiritual growth. I'm Bill Sklodowski, along with my friend and partner, Vicki Wagoner, and we are business partner. We've been talking so much about her husband and Mr. Rick on this one. I don't want to give people the wrong impression here when I say partner. I mean, it's kind of like podcast partner.
As partner and friend.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
friends
sure. Oh,
forever.
absolutely.
Good friend
Absolutely.
Rick. So,
I'm also friends. Yes. He and
yeah,
I have been out four-wheeling several times and hoofing around in the woods several times. And
yeah.
I get to show off the fact that I'm a out of shape city kid and he's
Oh,
bouncing around these hills behind your house there. And I'm like, give me a minute. Anyway, I'm working on that. I'm
gosh,
working
you're
on
going to have
that.
to come up more and practice more.
I will. Yes. Yes. As soon as we get out of this wintry weather that we've had, and
Yes.
thank goodness it's way nicer here in North Central Florida. But yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Most guys have personal growth backwards, and you might have focused on the wrong thing all this time. Interesting, because I mean, I
Hmm.
recognize, and if you've ever gone, and I know this. I mean, if you've ever gone to a meditation group, a book club, a spiritual gathering, a big one with some of the big name people, although it's 90% women,
Oh, yes.
90%.
Hmm.
And of the 10% men that are there, 7% of the, I'm just pulling numbers out of the air, but they're probably right. 7% of them are husbands who got dragged along. So maybe in a crowd of 1,000 people, maybe 20 or 30 are unattached men. That, and I don't know what's up with that. Well, yes, I do. There's a lot about men kind of feeling like they need to do things on their own and all of that.
Um,
I get it, and that's pretty much what this post is all about. And it says, if you're a guy and you're unhappy with where you are in life, business, or relationships, you probably have tried the usual suspects. Work harder, talk to friends, try a new hobby. These are all great, but they all have one thing in common. They are external fixes. External.
Oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
know. I know.
okay.
So like it says, we do what we've learned. We work harder. We get better at flirting. We buy a new car, and it helps for a little while. For a
Yeah,
little
that's a
while, but sooner or
Band-Aid.
later you fall. And again, guys, I'm talking to you. If you're, guys listening, A, thank you. B, now I'm not saying this is only for men, but it's kind of the way it, now you'll get a little insight there. It's this author says he says, as for me, I got a new partner, but I fought the same fights. I started a new business, but faced the same problems. I bought new stuff, but felt the same emptiness.
Wow.
And I
Yeah.
think men and women both can relate to that sort
Oh,
of a thing.
yeah. Oh,
And
definitely.
again, if you experience the same issues repeatedly, and this is exactly what we said in the first half of this show, if you have the same issues over and over again, it has one simple reason: you are the same person. That's,
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, that's it. It really is. And it
Yep.
does say, like it says, most people have personal growth backwards. They work their butt off to create the life they want, but their core beliefs always pull them back to where they started. I see Vicki
Yes.
nodding in big
Yep.
term agreement over there. So,
Yep.
yes.
Absolutely.
So, in simple terms, and stop me if this sounds familiar, in simple terms, what you believe, you create and experience in your life. That's the only thing we talk about
Oh,
on this show, right?
yeah,
If you
definitely.
believe you are not worthy of true unconditional love, you will attract people who confirm this belief. If you
Oh, yeah.
believe that you have to grind your butt off at work and can't take time off, you will create endless work. If you believe you need more to be happy and aren't worthy with what you have right now, nothing will ever be enough.
That's
I
it.
mean,
There.
that's it right there in a thing, and it's yeah. And I think the point of all of this is, as this says, the external, in other words, the life you see in front of you, well, the
Mhm.
life Bill sees in front of him, the life we all see in front of us,
All
it's
right.
just a mirror of what's going on inside, right? The
Absolutely.
optimist and the pessimist look at the same event, see two completely different things: glass half full, half empty,
Mhm. Oh,
glass with
yeah.
vodka if you're Russian. That means right, right. So there's only one thing you can do. You let go of limiting beliefs.
Yes.
Repeated thoughts become beliefs, and when beliefs tie to your current reality, they limit you in one form or another. Have you ever told yourself making money is hard, or all women are so emotional, or I have to work my butt off to get the things that I want, etc., etc., etc.? It's all about asking better questions. What do I believe about the thing that I want and myself regarding that thing? So, in other
Mhm.
words, he says, I'm not good at making money, or I always attract the wrong kinds of people, or whatever.
Right.
Where
Yep.
and then this one he should have given credit to Vicki Wagoner, but he didn't. Where does this belief come from? And is it necessarily true? What evidence do I have to support it or not? That's the
Hmm.
important part. And what's a
Yep.
better belief that serves me more? I mean,
Absolutely.
we've done 26 shows now, 27 shows or whatever. This is it. It is
Yep.
what you believe about yourself.
Oh, yes.
And now that I've gotten into it, it doesn't matter man, woman, boy, girl, dog, cat. It's the things you believe about yourself are the
Right.
things you will see in the world around you. It's the blue car thing. I'm
Yes.
looking to buy a car and I want to buy a blue car. So all I'm going to see for the next 2 weeks is blue cars. I know there's a
Hmm.
term for that. There's a real psychological term for it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know it off the top of my head, but it has a real name. But yes. So in other
Hmm.
words, all the things that we see, all the things that we choose to see are literally because we have chosen them, consciously or
Absolutely.
not. Right?
Yeah. And what keeps popping into my mind is deja vu all over again.
Mm, right? Deja
Yeah.
vu all over again. Love that. And it's true. It's like
Yeah.
and there's a guy, one of my, I don't know if he's a personal development guy, but Dr. Joe Dispenza, who's a big author on
Oh,
personal
yes.
development, personal growth things, he has a whole progression of how something starts as, okay, today I had a bad experience, and that turns into my mood for the day, and that turns into and it goes from one little thing. It's basically when the butterfly flaps his wings in the Amazon, it causes a hurricane somewhere else. But it's basically how one little thing starts at one point, and at the end of the line, it's this is my life. And
Yes.
it's like, don't you see
Mhm.
that how it's been step by step by step that you've knocked down bigger, maybe knocked down is the wrong word. You've set up bigger and bigger dominoes. You keep
Yes.
one little thing turns into something bigger, turns into something bigger, turns
Oh,
into
yeah.
something bigger.
Just keeps multiplying, just adding on, adding on, adding on. And then all of a sudden, everything collapses and you look and you go, what the heck happened? Well, it started with that one belief that you held on to for dear life, you know,
Right? Right?
and you made it, you allowed it to control your life. And believe
Right.
me, I did that for a long time, especially, like I said before I got into spirituality, I held on to this belief that I wasn't good enough, you know.
Right.
I just, was barely making it, and then all of a sudden getting into spirituality and having, different perspectives to look at, different ways of, seeing things, my life just started cracking open. And, I'm the first one to say, like I said before, you're seeing me on a good day.
Right.
Yet I recognize that and go, wow, just by opening myself up to different, people and different events and, different knowledge, different books, it just opens up a whole world. And it makes you question, why am I holding on to this when I've got all this available to me?
Right. There's a lot. Before I forget, credit where credit is due to this article I'm reading to you appeared on a website called Primer Magazine, and the
Oh,
author is Moreno Zugaro. I hope I'm saying that right, but I want to give credit where credit is due, so I'm not stealing other
absolutely.
people's work. But and one of the great, and I've heard this before, so I'm not, yes, he pointed it out, but and it's something we were just talking about here as well, and that is what he calls the. Wait a minute, let me find it here. It says many people fall victim to the classic when then thing.
Okay.
Yes. When I have more money, I'll tip better and worry less about cash. When I see results at the gym, I'll double down on it and eat healthy too.
Mm,
When my friends act properly, I'll be more understanding and friendly. So
yes.
it's literally cart before the horse, right? It's when this
Yes.
thing happens, then I'll do this. Well, life doesn't work that way. Sorry.
No, it
I have to tell
doesn't.
you, life don't work that way.
No, we are the creators. We're
Right.
the creators of our life. We can't depend on somebody else to create a wonderful life for us. That's our job. And if
Didn't
something's not
again go back
working,
to quoting our buddy Wayne Dyer? Didn't he always said, most people say I'll believe it when I see it, and then he says it's actually the opposite. I'll believe it and then I'll see it.
yeah,
Yeah, which
yeah,
is true. I mean,
yeah,
again, that's the whole point of this whole doggone show is that it's not what is going on in the world around you, it's what's going on inside of you and how that
yeah,
comes out into the world. So yeah.
absolutely. Because the other way is like we're giving permission for somebody else to run our life. And that's our
Right.
job.
Right.
We're responsible for ourselves. What we want to manifest, our happiness, what we want to, bring towards us, the right people. That's our job.
Mm-hmm.
That's our
Mm-hmm.
responsibility. And we have to be on it. You don't have to be vigilant every moment of every day, yet being aware of it, open for it. And, sometimes try it out. If it works, it's great. If not, go, okay, well, tried it out, didn't work. Let me try something different.
Right.
So, and that's like little kids. Little kids are always exploring and looking and touching and doing all this until somebody says, oh, you can't touch that. You can't do this. You can't do that. And that's when we put, all these barriers around ourselves in childhood. So I commend anybody that has the courage to go, you know what? I've been believing in what somebody else is telling me. So I'm just going to go out and be adventurous and see what's out there.
Right. Right. And some questions that he poses on this post as well. And again, stuff we've talked about, how would you, he says you might want to start thinking in terms of how would you deal with money if you were already wealthy? How would you spend, invest, save, and earn? How would you show up in your relationship if you were already in the most amazing, understanding, loving, supporting relationship there is? How would you go through life if you were already happy, free of worry, and at peace? And I love those, but I would add to those, try doing that. In other words, is it now? Do we fall into the issue of the fake it before you make it thing, or is there a better way to think about that?
Well, faking is, to me, is like lying. You're not
Well, yeah,
really honest with yourself. So if you're faking it, you're kind of lying to yourself. So I, I think give it a try. Or, my favorite line is, what the heck? What the
right,
heck? See what happens. You know?
right,
What's the worst that can happen? You look at that. So what the heck? I'll give it a try, see what happens. If it works, it's going to be great. If not, well, you know what? I feel good that at least I made the effort. And then lots of times with that, you're leaving it open for other things that are just waiting for you. So giving it a
a
try,
long,
maybe,
long time ago, even
yeah.
before. Well, boy, I don't even know how long ago it was. I interviewed a life coach, and it wasn't you, on a radio station a long time ago, and they had the best line about something, and basically they said, you know what, change is hard. Don't do it. But if you want to dip your foot into it for a while and see how it feels,
Mhm.
maybe give that a try. Show up one day and say, today I'm going to be a happy person or a loving person or whatever it is you are working on, whether it's your relationship with people or money or your job or whatever, just for today, which is
Yes.
a four agreements line, right? But
Yeah.
just for today, I'm going to try it this way and see how it goes. See how it goes.
Like I say, what
Maybe
the
try
heck?
it for a week. I don't know. Maybe give it a week, I would
I would,
say.
I would say, yeah, a day,
A
uh,
day might be too short. If you show up as a super nice guy at work and you're normally Mr. Grumpy, people are going to go, "What's wrong with him?" But if you
yeah.
do it for a week, all right, maybe now you start to turn
So,
people's, you start to turn their opinion a little bit.
yeah,
So,
make them
do it
think a
for a
little bit
week,
like, what's going on here?
right? What's going on with that guy? But again, yes, I know. I mean, change is hard. Change is hard, and I'm not saying don't do it. I take the joke for
Yeah.
how it was
So,
meant. But again, like, and we were talking before the recording started. I went to get a haircut this morning, and there's literally a pizza place, a good pizza place, next door to the
ah,
haircut. And I walked out, and it was almost lunchtime. And I walked out and I looked at the sign in the window, like, two slices and a drink for lunch. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to go home and I'm going to stick to my, little carnivore diet thing that I'm doing. So here I am enjoying my cup of coffee and all of that. So
good.
again, yeah, thank you. It wasn't like, I'm changing the universe. It's just I'm making this one decision if this one moment of my day.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's how a lot of, I think that's how any change happens. You're not going
Yeah.
to say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. You're going to say, today I'm going to have a salad rather than ice cream.
Yeah, those baby steps. And
Right.
it's like watching a child walk, they take a step or two and they're like, oh my God, and they plop down. Well, you know what? After a while, they just walk and they don't even think about it.
Right.
But making
Right.
that effort, that first effort and putting your intention into it and your focus on it adds up to, just doing it automatically. The other thing is too, is the language that we use for ourselves. Like you said, that change can be hard. Well, how
Right.
about change can be challenging?
Right.
And really, words do have as much, effect on us as the good foods that we eat.
Oh, absolutely. Words have power. Words
Words have a
have
lot of
tons of
power.
power. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you're starting something new, find words that are going to be supportive, that are a little softer. Like, okay, today I'm going to challenge myself to walk, a half a mile, you know,
Right.
and go,
Right.
okay, we'll just see what happens. And then you feel, you did it and maybe you went a little bit further. so you feel even better. So always look at it as, how can I challenge myself? How can I keep it positive? What are the benefits that I'm going to get from it? How am I going to, by what I'm doing, how am I going to affect millions of people I'm never going to meet? Which is a good feeling, that you're going
Right.
to help people, that you're never, and I tell people that what you do now is going to affect millions of people that you're never going to meet. How
Right.
does that feel that you're doing this for you and you're sharing it with all these millions of people? And they're like, wow,
Exactly.
makes me feel
No,
great.
exactly right. I mean, because we don't, and I get it. We don't think that way. I mean, that kind of thinking doesn't happen naturally,
Oh,
at
yeah,
least not to most people. I mean, maybe if you're
right.
the Dalai Lama or something, it does. But, but again, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, you can look back and reflect
Yep.
and think, oh, I made some better decisions this week. I, did a few
Mhm.
things that I, were, all right, maybe it was a little bit challenging. Maybe it was, maybe having that pizza for lunch would have been super awesome. But it was a good decision because I'm supporting myself in other things and other ways or whatever. So yeah,
Mhm.
I get that. I do. So
Yes.
be okay
And
with that.
oh, yeah. And every little thing you do, it just builds on itself. And I know I say this a lot. It's like the grains of sand.
Hmm.
Okay. Everybody's impressed by the sand and, the beautiful ocean. Well, that one little tiny sand collected with that one, and then that one, and then that one. So every little tiny thing you do, celebrate it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Everybody celebrates the big things. You got to celebrate the little things because they collect, and be proud of every little thing that you do.
I mean, and that's the only way that real, I think that's the only way that change happens is starting
Mhm.
with the smallest, tiniest, littlest thing and then build on that as things
Yes.
go. So,
Hmm. Yeah. And
so
celebrate what you've
right,
done. Everything that you've done, it's like, wow, this just adds up. Because when you're in a good mood and you're celebrating and you're proud of yourself, that's just natural energy that's going to keep building and building and building.
right, right. And that's the important part. I mean, and I mean, I've read 100 different books on habits and all of that. It's
Mhm.
like, in 2 or 3 weeks, it becomes more of who you are. All right. I have
Yeah.
to force myself to get out the door and go for a walk every night for the first couple of weeks. Okay. Maybe I do. But after a couple, 3 or 4 weeks or a month or whatever, it's like, nope, it's 5 o'clock. It's time to go for a walk or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I was in that habit yeah, now you can lose that because I did. I was in that habit and then I fell out of it, so now I think I'm looking to restart some of those habits and some of those, small things that will add
Yes.
up over time. That's our
Yeah.
thing for the day. It's just like investing your money, right? It's like
Yeah.
compound interest.
Yeah. Absolutely. Compound interest in yourself.
Compound interest. Excuse me. See, I had a gasp there and it caused me to choke a little bit. Compound interest in yourself. I love that though. Wow. That's a bumper sticker, I think. I'm not
I
sure,
think
but anyway,
so. Oh,
sounds good.
let's, what are the trademark it or whatever they call it.
Right? We can start that now. That's right, exactly. And then somebody will come along and go, "Boy, I want to use that line." And we go, "That'll be $1 million, please." And they write the check. So see how we're manifesting that out there? See how that works?
It does. It works. And that's how it works. Just something pops up and you go, oh, I'm going to act on that. And the next thing you know, it just keeps building and building.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So I guess the whole lesson hadn't been a lesson today. We talked about a lot of things, but again, it's all about recognizing what you're doing,
Yes.
giving yourself a good look in the mirror and saying, okay, maybe it's been challenging for the past year, 2 years, two decades, whatever. But I'm still going to look inside. I'm still going to see, oh, there's still some good stuff in there. And that's what I'm going to focus on. That's what I'm going to build on.
Mhm.
Today, I'm going to not have the pizza or go for the walk or, whatever. Be nice to somebody I wasn't nice to the other. Whatever it is for you. Go
Yes.
do that thing.
Yeah.
Go
And
do that thing and see how.
acknowledge yourself.
Right.
It's nice to have people acknowledge you. We have to acknowledge ourselves first so that we can draw that acknowledgement from others. And
So,
that's a Yeah.
No, I was going to say that's so important, and even
Yes.
I just demonstrated that that's not something we normally think of. To
Right.
acknowledge yourself, to say, all right,
Hmm.
I'm putting in the work, doing the
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep. Because it's
Oh,
so easy
sounds
to do
good.
it for other people. I feel that doing it for ourselves is more of a challenge. Like,
It
oh, I'm
is.
conceited. Well, who am I to say that? You have to.
But it is. But and we
Yeah.
talked about a lot about that this past hour, and we'll continue to talk about that. And that is, it's not only okay to do that for yourself, it's mandatory.
Yes.
It's
It
like you
really
have to.
is. Yeah, you
Have to.
have to. Absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. Love it. If somebody would like to get in touch with you, Ms. Vicki, about maybe working on some of these issues for themselves, how would they do that?
Well, call or text 239-248-0586 or email at Vicki, Vicki, Wagoner, Wagoner 53 at gmail.com.
And again, like I said, my latest iPhone video is out and about. It's if you do a search for Bill's iPhone tips at YouTube, you'll find me. And all of that info, by the way, is in the show notes that come with this, wherever you get your podcasts. And by the way, wherever you do get your podcasts, if you're enjoying this, we would enjoy you leaving us a nice review somewhere. That would help boost the show. So that would be awesome.
Yes. Yes, please.
Yes, please. All right, everybody. Have yourself a great week. We really appreciate you being with us here today, and as always, we'll see you again next week. We're getting better. Miss Vicki and I are getting better about posting all of the shows and stuff to our Facebook pages. We have our
Mhm.
very own Facebook page for this show called the Personal Path Podcast. And then
Yeah.
you can check out Vicki's page or mine or whatever, and you can find information about the shows. But until then, thanks for being here. We'll see you again next week. I'm Bill Sklodowski. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Vicki Wagoner, wishing you a great week, and thank you again for joining us. And remember, always be your own best friend.